So this is take 2. Wait.
So we decided we wanted to do.
Who are we?
Yeah, the same one group.
Okay.
Okay, so we are group 5.
I'm David.
Kevin.
I'm Pete. I'm Garrett.
I'm Jack.
We should do it.
And we are group 5 again. Do you want to do it again?
Yeah.
You say your name first, is it?
Okay, we are group 5. My name's Garrett.
My name is Pete.
I'm David.
Kevin.
And I'm Jack.
So we decided pretty quickly that we wanted to do a music video. So after we decided that, we started reaching out to different music artists to see who would be interested in collaborating or letting us use one of their tracks to make a video too. After we did this, we decided to make a video for Le Boom, What We Do. We toyed around with a couple of different narratives earlier on, partially based on the feel of the actual music. We decided then that a narrative of a mime searching for self would provide both an interesting narrative and a visually appealing video. We then storyboarded this idea, whittling down our idea and trying to decide the best way to capture the feel of isolation and loneliness that we wanted to achieve. We scheduled to shoot the entire video over a day. To cast the actor, we reached out to friends in the acting community. The actress we chose in the end was recommended to us as a great movement artist. On the day of shooting, we organised hair and makeup for the actress, directing a particular feel of mundaneness in the costume design.
Yeah, so for production of the first video, we shot on the JVC LS300s available from here in DCU. We used a range of Samyang primes. One of the issues that we found, because we were dealing with someone that was dancing and performing, was that because we would ultimately have liked to shoot with a really shallow depth of field, that was a bit of an issue to follow someone dancing. So we were shooting around 5.6 in terms of aperture. And even though that allowed us a bit more scope in terms of focus, it also pulled in too much detail from the background, which kind of left it looked a bit more akin to news rather than the cinema look we were going for. In terms of other kind of issues faced in the first video, we kind of overscheduled the day. We wanted to shoot a lot and ended up not getting kind of half as much footage as we needed, which kind of didn't stand to us then when we went to cut it together.
Okay, so we got all the footage back. We gave the footage to Gareth, who did the edit, the very first edit. And going through the footage, we noticed that, in particular, there was a very video look about it, a very student kind of filmmaker look, which was something that we didn't want to achieve. So we kind of put the footage together, what we had. We brought it into class. We showed it to the lecturer, Will Tuke, yourself. And then, so it actually was a really important class for us because we went kind of through the video look versus the filmic look, which is what we wanted to achieve. And kind of the most important thing that we kind of boiled down was kind of clarity in the frame. So a lot of our shots had quite a lot going on in the frame, very busy, and it just ended up looking like RT News, as Pete was saying. So kind of the advice we were given was, either your composition has to be really strong, you have to know what, really strong composition so people know what to look at, or else use a very shallow depth of field, therefore like the background is blurred out and your subject or whatever you want your audience to be looking at is in focus. As well as that, the issues we also struggled with were shooting indoors.
Stabilization as well, isn't it? Big issue.
Yeah, stabilization. So we didn't have a shoulder rig, so it was very shaky. That kind of was negated a bit using the slow motion. So going into high speed and shooting at 120 frames, and then playing it at 24 frames in Premiere Pro, but very, very shaky footage. Shooting indoors was extremely difficult due to the fact we weren't able to light properly indoors, and we found that actually really made it look very studenty shooting indoors. We kind of got back together and we decided that we just didn't have enough good footage to tell a proper story. So we kind of came together and decided that we'd do a reshoot. And we kind of learned our lessons from the first one, so we decided that we do location scout. We decided to have a very detailed storyboard so that we knew exactly what every shot would be, and also probably the most important was that we decided to have a shooting schedule which we kind of had in the first one, but wasn't adhered to or anything like that. So what I feel anyway was the most important decision was we decided to shoot mainly with a very wide aperture, 2.8 mainly, and occasionally with as wide as 1, and that really helped to achieve a very kind of filmic look that we discussed and what we wanted to achieve.
Yeah, just one point on that. Just the whole thing Will was saying about bringing things into the hyperreal, like the small details that like you kind of miss out on when you're looking at cinema, like the feet, the hands, and shots of like smaller details that really I didn't think we looked at in the first video.
In terms of the second video, a lot of the stuff was shot with a very shallow depth of field, but we like that singled out little details, like hands and eyes, and just those kind of things that would help tell the story, but without being too overtly news related. But yeah, so I think planning was a big thing for the second one, and then just kind of more specific location, more specific marks in terms of focus, and then just just the whole kind of day was just treated it was kind of more quality over quantity. So even though we shot less during the day, we kind of achieved more with what we did shoot, and then that footage was used to supplement the original edit. And
so I guess one of the main challenges of the editing process was the idea of kind of we were trying to
turn the mic towards. Just turn the mic so.
Yeah.
It's XY patterns, so one's pointing at me and one's pointing at Jack.
Oh right, okay. Sorry. All right, sorry, Jackson. Was that right, David?
Messing with the sound, man.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's alright. No, like it's all good.
Yeah, so from an editing point of view, I guess the main challenge we had was we were trying to combine footage from 2 separate shooting days, and that led us to kind of changing the mime character from kind of the lead of the story to a more supporting player, in which Garrett's character was the main story, was the main person driving the narrative, and that meant we could drop her in at kind of suitable intervals, but trying to use the best of the footage in terms of composition and exposure that we had with her. And I guess kind of a lot of kind of the nice parts of the was kind of cutting their 2 perspectives together. I think like there's nice sequences towards the end, for example, where Garrett's on the train and she's in the car, and it was kind of contrasting their journeys. And I guess just kind of trying to enforce the idea that Garrett's kind of progressing from one stage to the next, and emphasising the walking and that kind of stuff. In terms of the cutting, we were kind of cutting on the beat a lot, just because obviously the song is quite kind of up tempo.
Can I just say on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the main problems with the first one was that there was no it wasn't so much like the narrative wasn't clear, but there was just no journey and there was no resolution.
Sure.
So as Jack was saying there, like a lot of it was a lot of walking, like kind of transitional stuff, and kind of giving the video a sense of movement and a sense of journey. So that was really important in that for the narrative.
And like we made use of a lot of jump cuts to kind of give the story kind of a bit of energy. Like I think that there's a nice sequence there towards the end where the I know lyrics come in, and it's just a lot of kind of close cuts on Gareth's face to kind of emphasise the frustration that he's going through as a character. So I think those work quite well. I haven't really got a lot else to say about the editing.
Yeah, so like we kind of had a struggle because basically, as Jack was saying, like the compositions didn't really match because we shot on 2 different days, and we probably shot it way better on our second shooting day because we were way more planned, as we were saying. So then,
the camera and kind of stuff,
So like basically what happened was, and this was quite a struggle. So basically what happened was I took the footage from that day and I tried to make a story out of that, and Jack took the footage from that day as well, and he took the original mime footage and he tried to combine them together into a story. And I think we both felt that both the videos were really, really good. It was just like trying to choose which one, but because we hadn't really planned much of a story out of the B-roll footage, compositionally it looked kind of better, but story-wise it kind of fell down a bit. While on the other hand, the Laboon video has a better story, but there's a bit of a mismatch between the two. So yeah, that was kind of a stressful couple of days trying to, argue our points, which one's kind of better. I don't know really what else to say.
Because everyone felt everyone felt very passionately about kind of their individual
completely
results. And I think we all liked everyone's footage. What it came down to was just kind of a matter of kind of personal taste, and obviously that's going to vary wildly across people. So I think we both, we're very proud of both the cuts that kind of came together. It's just a case of 6 of one, half of the other.
Yeah. Definitely. Just say like the main learning points probably were the planning, which is where we felt, having a shot list having a very detailed storyboard. So we fell down quite a bit on our first shoot, but then after, probably the most important lesson was that kind of video versus film look. So you know, having clarity in your shots, like where do you want the audience's eyes to be? Just so I think those are probably the most important lessons. So like overall, doing 2 videos is like maybe it didn't turn out exactly how we wanted. But it, like
a lot of extra work.
A lot of extra work, but it was a very valuable learning experience.
I don't know what else to say.
No, you're babbling now.